we're going to chat. Oh dear. We're going to chat for just a few minutes about, thank you, about your opportunities to make a difference in your community. How many in here are trying to help buyers and sellers? How many people want to help more buyers and sellers? So Cares for Kids is your unique leverage to do that. And oh, by the way, you're going to help a lot of kids along the way. So I'm going to share something with you real quickly and chat.
Hi, I'm Ricky, and I'm with the Sugarloaf Market Center. And being a member and participating in Cares for Kids can really help impact your business because it shows your friends, your family, and your clients how much you care about your community.
This is Summer Berg with Keller Williams South Forsyth office, and I believe that helping kids can help your business because everybody wants to be a part of something, and this is a no-brainer, easy way to get involved with your local community.
I know that whether it's putting a sign writer on my signs, my for sale signs that say I help kids when I sell homes, or it's a portion of my commission that I get to donate through closings, I know that it's going to a great charity and it's helping those children in need. That really fuels me. And 100% of that goes to the children, which is a huge deal. So I'm so thankful to be a part of that.
So helping kids, how can helping kids help your business? I'm so glad you asked, Melissa. Thank you. So there's actually a number of things. So everything about Cares for Kids has been around since 2005. Everything about it has a story. There's a reason why. So last year, the year before, when we would come and share in the spring and tell you all about how ways you could help children in your community and give back. And I would say, I have the best flyer for you. And then y'all would leave without the flyer because you didn't know where to get it. And I would be super excited about it. So last year I had this great idea that in the presentation video, it was full of QR codes for you to get everything. Except the pages went so fast, nobody could get anything. And so the team leader at Barrow Jackson, Holly, said, Marci, put them at the end. So everybody go, ooh. Ooh. So we are constantly creating materials for you. Let me ask you a quick question. Is this my charity? I didn't hear you.
No.
Is it Dara's charity?
No.
Whose charity is it? Say it's mine. You all say it's mine.
It's mine.
Because are we telling you where your backpacks have to go?
Nope.
Are we telling you where your flex funds have to go?
Nope.
Are we saying where your We Care Bears have to go? You all decide because you're on the front lines. You're in your community. And why are we giving back? I'm wearing a circle necklace because it's called the Circle of Life. I read a lot. And all the really successful people I read about, they all finish their book saying one thing. We are here to give back and make a difference in the lives of others. Always. And Cares for Kids is part of your circle of life because where do you get your livelihood from that puts food on your table? The answer is my community. Where do you get it? My community, your communities. If you're getting your livelihood from for your family, from your communities, isn't it logical that you would give right back with time or money or time to care back for the communities that are taking care of your family as well, right? So that's what Cares for Kids is all about. All right, so let's talk about all your resources. This is so exciting. All right, so how many of you have buyer presentations or seller presentations?
Everybody raise your hand.
Everybody raise your hand. Up in the room. All right, so you want to show in a simple way how Cares for Kids helps in your community. It's right here, right there. There's your QR code. This is our colorful financials. Cares for Kids is very different. How many times when you donate to a charity, do you know where your money went? Not too often, right? You know exactly where your money's going through Cares for Kids. And that right there tells you where every single dollar that we received, how it helped children in your communities, all right? So this is a perfect flyer for you to put in your buyer presentation, your seller presentation. All right, next, a different script. How many people love to make cold calls? Okay. How many people in this room are adults? All hands need to be up. Let me give you the definition of an adult. We have 4 children. I'm constantly telling you the definition of an adult. Number 1, you got to be off the payroll. Okay, all of y'all are off the payroll. All right, number 2, the definition of an adult is doing the things you don't want to do when you know you need to do them. Am I in a room of adults?
Yes.
Am I in a room of people who want to grow their business to have a richer life? That's not money always, but to have a richer life.
Yes.
You have to do the things you don't want to do when you know you need to do them. How many of you heard Mel Robbins at Family Reunion? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you have not heard her, that was the first time I ever got to hear her. Wow. Not only did her pants sparkle awesomely, but her grandkids were on her belt buckle. Oh my, she's so cool. Yes, you have, so cool. But she had a rough time. She was $800,000 in debt from a failed business and couldn't get herself out of bed for months. And she came up with this idea, long story short, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you have not heard about this, you've got to read it, because we all have things we don't want to do that we know we need to do. That's called being an adult. And calls are one of them. And also Gary Keller, we've been around Gary for a long time. And what does he say to do? We always have to do the things we don't want to do when? First thing in the morning, because willpower runs out. It's strong at the start of the day and it tends to taper. So do those things early. So sometimes it can be hard to make a cold call because you're like, I don't know what to say. And all I'm ever saying is, are you ready to buy? Are you ready to sell? So I'm going to give you a different script. All right, ready? I'm going to have you read this with me. Dear prospect.
Dear prospect.
I just wanted to reach out to you, to let you know we will be donating. Teddy bears, backpacks, school supplies, etc.
Teddy bears, backpacks, supplies, etc.
In our community soon.
In our community soon.
What children's organization?
What children's organization
Do you know? Who needs our help?
needs our help?
It's a different way to talk to them, but what a great conversation to have. You're not asking them for anything, you're giving. And you're telling them that you care about the community that you live in. They might have some great ideas for you. Order a sign writer. Oh yeah. So who likes to look like everybody else in the crowd? The answer from all of you should be not me.
Not me.
We all want to stand out in the crowd, right?
Can we raffle that off like today for Cares for Kids?
That's mine.
You know what? Next time, that's my new idea.
Yeah.
I'll bring one and raffle it off for the market center.
Yeah.
You give me the best ideas. All right, so
We can do that.
okay, that's all right. So anyway, I help kids when I sell homes. It is simple, it is clear, you will stand out on the streets, right? So I love this. There's a QR code for you to order them. And South Forsyth happened to set it up at a printer already, so the templating cost is done. You just buy the rider, and there's 2 sizes, 2 colors, pretty awesome. Be different. Don't be like everybody else. There's too many of everybody else. Be your own person. Okay, there we go. All right. Am I in a room of dumb people?
No.
I think I'm in a room of smart people, right? We're North Gwinnett, y'all are smart. That being said, what do we have for you? Drum roll, please. Smart plans. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right, again, let's have a different conversation with your database. If all you're doing all the time is asking for things, they get tired of that. So let's give them some things. And so this is our 3rd smart plan that is about to come out. I'm super excited to tell you we're getting 5-star ratings. If you don't want to give us a 5-star rating, don't give us any rating.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding. Actually, what is the Breakfast of Champions, you all? Feedback. It is the Breakfast of Champions. I love feedback. So I am wanting you to download not the dumb plans, but the smart plans. And then I want you to tell us how we can make them better for you. You know, you can modify the subject lines. You can modify with the content that's in there. It autofills your information, your contact information. Do they ask for money?
No.
Okay. Y'all can't be asleep yet. I just started. Do they ask your clients for money?
No.
What do they say? So the subject line has been very carefully crafted so that they want to open your email. Thea helps us with this. The one for the We Care Bears, the one that's going on right now, the subject line says something like free hugs. So cute. So cute, Dave. And but all the subject lines are written to get them to open your email because they're curious. And then in the content, they're very simple, they're very short and sweet, but we're telling them about how, you know, y'all, we're about to donate books into the community. Who do you know who needs books? And you talk maybe one sentence about why that matters. And then it concludes by saying how you care about your community. And guess what? The very first one that was launched last fall, one of the ambassadors at Athens launched it. This is crazy. So she was texting her database, right? And one of her prospects unsubscribed from her texts. Then she sent, right, boo. Then she sent out the Cares for Kids Smart Plan about, this one was, in fact, was about the books. And the same lady who unsubscribed to her text reached out to her from her Cares for Kids Smart Plan email and said, I love that you're doing this. I have some books I would love to donate. Would you please call me?
Love it.
Yay. And then she downloaded the second smart plan and she had another client respond, a different one altogether. So my point is, these are there to help you have a different conversation with your database. Are we talking about a charity?
Yes.
Yeah, we are. That helping kids can help your business. All right, so now, right over here, this is a, oh, by the way, I had to tell you this crazy story. It gives me goosebumps. So understand the opportunity you all have to change the life of a child or a teenager. So you're about to vote on your flex funds, right? So the Stockbridge Market Center happened to use some of their flex funds last fall to help some foster children attend a camp. And I received a note in December. It has become a Care for Kids bookmark from this young lady, and her name is Ashley. And I don't normally get cards like this. I don't even know how she found our address. Dear Cares for Kids, I'm a 13-year-old girl in foster care. Thank you so much for helping me pay for church winter camp. It was the first time I got to go to camp, and it left a huge impact on me. I met new friends. I learned a lot about getting closer to God and the people around me. Y'all are voting on flex funds. You're voting on how you're impacting a child's life.
Because one matters is the foster kids in Gwinnett, y'all. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and that's one of the organizations that you all have supported and Cares for Kids has supported. And they do amazing things. And there's more to this story. So this young gal has been so impacted by Cares for Kids that she decided to start a little jewelry business. I have a picture of her and she makes earrings. Do you think a child in foster care has a lot of money? She's donating half of her proceeds to Cares for Kids.
Oh.
We're about to get our first $37 check
Oh,
from
love
this
it.
young lady. Your flex funds matter. What you're doing for children in your communities is making a difference, bigger than you can imagine. So and there's more to the story. The team leader in the Stockbridge Market Center is about to adopt this child.
Wow.
How many layers of
Wow.
influence can you have? I just have goosebumps.
Wow.
So I can't encourage you enough to really think about how helping kids can also help your business. So on this last right here, this agent pledge, this is written super simply. And it's designed for you to put at your listings with your business card on it. It says you help children through your closings. And it says that 100% of the money goes to the kids, which it does. And it just is designed to sit out on the counter by your listing flyer. So I highly encourage the agent pledge for them to see it because it shows very simple ways how they get it out there. So really quickly, let me ask you all a question. What are the two most important words your mother taught you?
Thank you.
Thank you. Say it loudly with conviction. Thank you. Your mother would be so proud of you right now. So we cannot do what we do without incredible ambassadors. And so I have a little gift for Chelsea and Thea from last year. Would y'all please put your hands together for how amazing they are? So I always gift books. Why? Because you all love to read so much. I know, but you need to. You're an adult. Remember, you're an adult. So we always gift books because John Maxwell taught us years ago that a book is the gift that keeps on giving. So you can read it right now wherever you're at in your life. And when you pick it up 6 months or a year later, you're at a completely different place. So the book that the ladies just received is a book by Ryan Leake called Leveling Up. How many of y'all heard him at L2L? Yep. Really powerful. How many of y'all have heard of Bob Goff? Love everybody, everybody always. So Ryan Leake has lived a life like Bob Goff in that he was willing to ask outrageous questions. And because of the outrageous questions and how willing he was to fail, he failed over and over and over again. He ended up meeting Kobe Bryant. He had all these incredible things happen in his life because he wasn't afraid of the word no. So his book Leveling Up, he talks a lot about that and he discusses like, for example, what's your breadcrumb slide? What got you in here? This is the real reason I'm gifting the book. Are you ready? Yep. If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. Interesting, he said only a year. It's not always a gift, right? If you want happiness for a lifetime, help someone else. Great book. I highly recommend it to everybody. Now, I was going to do a surprise, except you already have these visitors here. So pretend you're surprised. Ready? Okay. Ready? I have something to show you. So I just want you to know that our Sweet Wheat Care Bears have gone through an incredible recruit select process. You notice that your bears do not fall over, right? You notice how soft they are and squishy and huggable, and their fur doesn't fall out. Some bears' furs fall out. These guys went through incredible recruit select to be a We Care Bear. And why do they need to sit up? A lot of the children who receive them are in the hospital, and they can't always have them in the bed next to them. So having them on the counter, not falling over, sitting up, looking at them is important. But then we found Cinnamon. I just want you to know how incredibly hard it was to get cinnamon. Lee, who helps me with Cares for Kids, worked tirelessly to get cinnamon. She even couldn't get him because he's so special, and finally got boxes of him in and unboxed them all herself and got them ready all by herself without any help for you all to have cinnamon. So I really want you to give the cinnamons extra love as you work with them. So
So I put my tie on the wrong one, didn't I?
put one on cinnamon too.
Yes, I will.
Both. All right, so I want to congratulate you all on an unbelievable amount of flex funds, over $17,000. And I cannot wait to hear how you all decide to help children and teens with your money. That is amazing. How much of your donations go to the children?
100%.
And when you raise over $10,000, how much goes into the pot for all your events and into flex funds? Great job, 50-50, that's right. And so exactly 50% of the money you raised is in your flex funds, and the rest of your money is helping for the bears and the backpacks and everything else. So again, I really believe helping kids can help your business. So thank you for having me here for that. And that was all I would say on that.
Can I ask one thing?
Yeah.
So we have some new faces in the room that this is the first time they've heard of this. Will you just talk a little bit about how 100% goes to the children and what that means? And because they just don't know. Because I think people hear that, they're, oh yeah, 100%, sure. But really it is 100%. And if you can share a little bit about that.
100%, all of your money. The expenses of the charity, it actually cost last year over $100,000 to operate Cares for Kids, but you all don't pay for any of that. That is covered privately.
Can I make a request too?
Yeah.
Can you tell us the story about when you decided $1 million? Go ahead and tell it, because I think that's inspiring. About when you decided $1 million kids.
Well, they made me say it.
How many had you done at that point?
Well, it's always a we. It's always
Oh,
we.
okay, how many?
Always.
How much had we done?
So I really believe in goal setting. How many of you all in here have goals that you have not accomplished? How many of you have had a goal for 5 years that you have not accomplished? How about one that's 10 years old? How about one that's 15 years old? All right, Rob, you and me. It took me 15 years to figure out how to start Cares for Kids. KWNG. And the reason I'm sharing that is because I don't want you to ever give up on a worthy goal. When Brian and I graduated out of college, we had negative nothing. And it was my student loan debt. That's what I brought to the relationship. And I wanted to start a charity so badly. And I was so embarrassed because I worked for a large corporation right out of college, and they said everybody has to donate $10 from every payroll to the United Way. We couldn't afford it. I remember falling asleep in our apartment in Norcross. We had a $77 power bill. I didn't know how we were going to pay it. I'll never forget that. And so we really didn't have $10. Like if you saw our kitchen cabinet when we started out, the only thing in it was ramen. And if it was a good week, we had ramen with carrots. So that was how we started, but we both worked 2 jobs. And Brian cut firewood, I had my job, and then I did another job, and he had another job. So we did whatever we had to do. It's called being an adult, y'all. So, so it took me 15 years to figure out, I saved the name of the charity. So we started in February of 2005. This kind of leads into what Dara wanted me to share anyway. So I started it in February 2005, but I didn't start it. I just had an idea. So I went back to our ALCs. There were 4 at the time, and all the ALCs voted yes, they all wanted to start this charity for their community. And so we helped 697 children the first year. So that's amazing, because it was better than not helping any. We were really excited. We didn't know what we were doing. And so, being goal oriented, we're like, well, we need a goal. What are we gonna do? Like, well, we need to say something outrageous. Why? Because what happens if you set a small goal? You blip, like you go here. But if you are willing to fail, which is a great thing to be willing to fail, y'all. Don't be afraid of failure. It can propel you forward. If you set a goal for the sun and you don't hit it, you might hit the moon. But if you set a goal for the moon and you don't hit it, you're lower. So we said, all right, this is crazy. Let's try to help 10,000 children. It took us 7 years to learn how to do that. And then when we got there, we're like, okay, well, it was crazy to go from 697 to 10,000. So now what do we do? We're like, all right, how do you help 100,000? And that was the second mission. Took us 7 years to accomplish that. And then I had an idea, but I didn't want to say it in public. Because it was incredibly intimidating to say it publicly, because if I say it publicly, then I have to make sure it happens. So I didn't really want to share it, but they made me. And so I said, all right, why, see if we can help 1 million. How do you do that? It was not an impressive, woo, we're gonna do this. It was I don't know how to do this. Within 2 weeks of publicly saying that, one of our ambassadors at the Sugarloaf Market Center was on the phone with Scholastic and asked a magic question and said, do you ever partner with nonprofits? And they said, yes. And within 2 weeks of publicly saying that, which that also gives me goosebumps, we became a nonprofit partner with Scholastic, because literacy, unfortunately, is a major problem in our state. You all know, I'm sure you've heard this, that the prison wardens count the number of our children by 3rd grade who cannot read. And that count tells them how many prison cells they'll need in 20 years.
Wow.
And our literacy rate in Gwinnett County at the Legacy event was really cool. The librarian told us in 2019, prior to COVID, the literacy rate was 46%, you all. That is not a good number. And then with, no, excuse me, it was 49. With COVID, it dropped to 46. And in 2023, it's at 51. Still not a good enough number. Okay, but we're making some progress. I believe our books are got to be a part of that to a certain extent. So, then the magic happens. See, there's just something so much bigger at work, Bob. Just facilitating the work that's supposed to be done, the reason we're all here. And that's really what's going on. So that's where that came from. So, we're going to hit it this fall, y'all.
Yeah.
One of you, based on how you all or other market centers decide to use your flex funds to help children, at some point in the fall, someone is going to do the action, deliver the We Care Bear, be at the shopping event, deliver the book that will reach the millionth child. So that's the power of goals and being in business with the right people. Cares for Kids would never have happened without Atlanta partners, ever. It is being around people who care to make a difference with their lives. Woohoo! So what else do you want me to?
Yeah, so for those, because Marci's gone through the Cares for Kids stuff, and part of homecoming week is to share about who we are, how we got here, and her and Brian, that's where Atlanta Partners comes in. So I just wanted, Marci, for you to share a few things about how Atlanta Partners came about and when you all bought this building. And really kind of how you got to where we are today and where you see us going. Would you like to sit?
No.
Okay.
So the only reason I would share this with you is if there's anything in it that might help you in your life and what you're looking at and what you're trying to do in your life. My overall message would be that anything is possible. Y'all, we're Americans. Hello. We live in the greatest country in the world. No one is putting a ceiling on your head except you. You are in a company that wants you to grow as big as you want to grow. It is up to you and the choices and actions you make every day. I have had the tremendous privilege to get to travel a little bit. And one of the conversations I had that I will never forget was with this brilliant young lady. Name is Eugenia. She's French. She loves the arts. She got to do part of her education in France and part in the United States. And I was sitting across the table from her. She was with her father. And I said, Eugenia, tell me, because her language is beautiful. Like it was so fascinating. And I said, Eugenia, like, what's it like to live over here? And there's this whole story about how she's helping her parents. It's a real estate story. They have a chateau that when the parents passed away, the three siblings fought over it because the one brother, no matter what, wanted to keep it in the family because it had been in the family for over 500 years. Beautiful chateau, L-shaped, lovely kitchen. And, but it's falling apart because the brother had to spend all of his inheritance to fight with his siblings to keep it in the family. Unbelievable real estate story. So this talented young woman, I'm like, she's staying there to help her parents raise the money to keep this chateau. I said, Eugenia, this is beautiful over here. What a lovely country, what a beautiful place. And she goes, oh, no, no, no. I would give anything to have what you have. I wish I could live the American dream. I wish I could live in your country. I could do anything I wanted. I could create the dream of my life to do anything I wanted to do if I could just live in your country. So I would start right there. You have to know the only limitations we have are what's in our minds. So Atlanta Partners started because we took a big risk. We risked everything, to be honest with you. So it was July 25th of 1999. And you all are going to see Bob Polinsky tomorrow. And Brian, I had a meeting with Bob. And I'm like, okay, if we walk in, and we were with Remax, we were in the top 100 agents, we were mega agents. And we had met the leadership of the other company and it wasn't a fit, but we were doing really well. So we were staying where we were. People kept going to this Keller company and I was like ignoring it because things were going well. I didn't want to rock the boat. So we finally agreed to meet Bob and we're going up in the elevator. I'm like, if there's a bunch of people in the room, I'm out. If it's like this big weird presentation thing, we're out. If it's like we were both going back and forth in the elevator of all these things, if he did this or this or this, we're out. Fast forward an hour later, we walk out of the meeting, we walk out of the elevator. It was a beautiful sunny day. I'm walking off the curb into the pavement. I can tell you exactly what was happening. And I said to Brian, I said, we're doing this, aren't we? And he goes, yep. That's how it started. And so we're willing to fail a lot. And we have. There was our business tanked as we tried to raise market centers out of the ground, as we tried to create Sugarloaf. And we hired the wrong team leader, brutal. And then we hired Cheryl Sidoti.
And she hired me.
And she helped us turn that ship around because whoo, it was going down fast. Because guess what, y'all, we're all friends, right?
Yeah.
Because, so we're in our office and we'd made this big decision that we were gonna go. We're like, all our friends will come. It will be great. Yeah, crickets. So, and we were like, yeah. So our first meetings were in this tiny little cubicle spot at the First Sugarloaf office, which is now across the hallway from us where Pinnacle Partners is. And all of the 10 people who were in there was our team. So I jumped out of the cubicle to do a business meeting. Oh my gosh. We failed a lot. We failed a lot. We just keep failing forward. We just keep learning, aggressively, sincerely, deeply learning and fixing our errors and mistakes. So when we found this building, we were super excited when we were going to open North Gwinnett because the building already had all the little offices in it, which meant less demo. I have pictures of my children who are 30, 27, 22 and not born, running around the hallways as we were meeting with the handyman, trying to figure out what work had to be done here, jumping up and down in this training room.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What was this building?
Oh,
It was not a funeral home.
Yeah, it was the business center for this
Yeah, we
industrial
thought
park.
that for 10 years.
Yeah. Brian cleared that up last week. It was not a funeral home. It was not a funeral home. Yeah.
On squares, it was a
No.
home or nursing home.
Oh, no, actually, no. So what else would I say that would be interesting? What else would they want to hear? Okay, I'll tell you the Atlanta Partners story. We thought that's very unique that multiple locations have the same Atlanta Partners, which makes us a very special group. But Brian had to really fight with the commission, and that was happening as I was delivering baby number 4 in the hospital. I remember that. I think the moral of the story is it's not so interesting what we've done personally. It's really more the messages, the life messages that I would share with you about never stop learning, never stop growing, never stop asking questions, never let go of your worthy dreams. Because you can make a bigger impact than you ever imagined when you're willing to set goals and you're willing to fail forward. Everything we have done has come from that.
Well, and I want to personally thank you and I know everybody in this room because it wasn't for the vision and the failing forward for you and Brian, none of us will be in this room. So I think that we have you know, and I'll share a little bit. So with Marci, so you guys all know that I've been here for a little over a year. And Marci has been so kind to mentor me, you know, in moments of just, hey, you know, here's how we can all fail forward and be better. And for me personally, like, and I've shared this with everyone in this room, that what a gift that I have been given to be a part of such a small piece of the pie, and an organization that truly believes in what we talk about, because that doesn't really exist that much out there anymore. And so I just want you guys to know that I've been around a lot of market centers in several years before I landed here. What we have here and in Atlanta Partners is so special. And when people talk about it, they don't understand if they're not in it. And so for me, I'm just extremely grateful to have a small part in this amazing world that we all get to be a part of. So, yeah, thank you for all that you've done for us.
Well, very, very happy to do it. I think that you can go a long way in life if you stop thinking about yourself and start thinking about how you can serve everyone around you. And things will come. Good things will come. But pay attention to how you can serve the people around you first.
Yep.
Okay.